Hi, welcome to That's the Thing podcast, episode .45. I've realized, I say podcast at the end of That's a Thing, but, that's not the brand name for any of your other stuff, so I don't know why I always say podcast there.
Well,
But I do.
It's because that's what it is. Like, if you just said that's a thing, because I think people say it as an expression, and when you say podcast, it just works. I don't know. It's gone on too long.
Close your eyes, and just imagine that I'd started. Hi, welcome to That's a Thing. Okay, you can open your eyes.
It needs that extra little bit. It needs that little Cajun spice right at the end. Let you know, like, oh, okay.
Let you know you're listening to a podcast.
Yeah, you turn on your YouTube video, you put it on in another tab, and then you're going about your day. Because that's what I'm sure people do on this thing.
You forgot the mute the tab part.
Oh yeah, you gotta mute that tab and just give those sweet view count. Oh yeah, I'm Kevin, also known as Rayla.
I'm Drew, also known as Drew or False.
Okay, so there is when this is out, BlizzCon will be going on.
Also hold up. I hope you all had a lovely Halloween. It's November the 1st now.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my Resident Evil 2 stream instead of The Surge, because why would I stream The Surge on Halloween? That's silly. I'd have to stream something spooky, and that's the only spooky game I have.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I still have, I'm logged into your PlayStation account, PS4. If you want to, troll through what I have, feel free to.
I could look and try to get PT running. I should have that, or being able to download it.
I don't know. If you don't have it downloaded, you probably can't get it then.
Okay, yeah, so it's on the other PlayStation. It is on there. I kept it.
Yeah.
But it's not on.
You also be careful. They apparently put out an update to it that if your PS4 auto downloaded, you just can't play it anymore then.
Oh, thanks, Konami.
Yeah.
I would probably pay $5 to download PT. Real talk.
Yeah.
Just edit out the Norman Reedus face at the end of that cutscene. And
also figure out streamline that last bit a little bit more, or make it more confusing so that way you can't get to the Norman Reedus bit.
I would be fine because I think that's why it's probably had issues. It's the Norman Reedus face at the end. I think
so, and it Konami's well, if we have it, then we're just advertising for not Metal Gear.
Yeah, I was gonna do a big thing
Death
about
Stranding, that's what it's called.
Yeah, BlizzCon, but really, there's 5 unknown things, and 3 of them are already known and have leaked already, so it's not really worth talking about. Other than the fact that I think the thing I'd like to have is Diablo 2 remastered, purely so I could stream Diablo 2 and widescreen. That'd be nice. That's really it. Because I think it's after The Surge, it'd be nice to be yeah, here's Diablo 2. I like that game. I'd play it again. That's about it.
I like playing Diablo 3.
I mean, Diablo 3 is good on the console because you don't have, or I think it's probably good on the PC now because they took away that auction house
marketplace.
Yeah, which was messing up their entire loot distribution because it was funneling you to get rare items of other people's classes so that you'd have to go to the auction house and trade. And that's not good. I did.
If it was actually trading, I could go for it, but it's called an auction house for a reason, right?
Yeah, well, it was by trade. It was. I meant you put up there for
Yeah.
gold, real money, and then Blizzard gets a cut of said real money transaction, which is why it was like sleazy.
Yeah.
All right. So there is a thing I wanted to talk about today. I tweeted about it when we're recording on Wednesday, but I wanted to talk about it because it's important. So Drew,
Okay, hold up. I have one. Okay, it's got to be Homestuck 2.
No. Okay, we can talk. Well, okay, let's have a moment about Homestuck 2. How far into Homestuck 2 did you get before you bailed?
I made it to the first wall of text and said, "Oh hell no, I'm not reading this." And and that was it.
3 sentences into that wall of text, and I said, "No, I can't read this," and then I was bailed.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is not unique. A lot of people I know are just my small anecdotal or people like, okay, let's see what's up with this. And then they got to like that wall of text with Dirk, the worst Homestuck character, and I'm like, nope. And then I just I turned it off.
That's not fair. Dirk is not the worst Homestuck character. He's like the worst like major character, but Aridin still exists.
Okay, so like why I say he's the worst is because he ruined Bro, which was my favorite Homestuck character, purely because like Bro was so cool. Like,
remember when there was a chance Dirk's name was going to be Drew? Boy, am I glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, remember when there was a chance his name was going to be Dunk? Because that's something that when good Homestuck was like, yeah, that's what Dave would name his brother. You name him
his
something
kid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it's Dunk. I still do miss Homestuck, but I don't think I can't go back or whatever it turned into. It's like, nah.
I wish there was a way that I could access it so whenever the scratch happened and you click for the next arrow, it just took you back to page 1.
Yeah, because that would have been the ending. That's how it should have ended. And then you could have closed the door on it. If someone else, like the fan canons can say, oh, the fans can continue on past that point in their own little OC adventures, and that's okay. But the official comic ends in a time loop because that's what everything in that comic was about, doing time loops. And then Hussey could have been free and he could do something else.
Yeah. Say la vie.
But that's like, oh man. And okay.
But to answer you, yes, I have been watching Loading Ready Go.
Oh,
play.
I wasn't going to talk about that at all. But we can
Road
talk
Quest?
about that.
I thought you were going to talk about Road Quest.
No, I was just like I was gonna in my brain I was gonna mention it when like I like it because my disclaimer is I do not think it is as good as Top Gear.
Oh, not like it is like miles worse.
But I think it's impressive what they've done with like a YouTuber kind of like you've approximated it, and I think that's impressive. Like I think it's more impressive than good.
I
could not have made that.
No. I'm making because I think it is good.
Oh, like it's
I don't think it's as impressive because again, it's also like, you know, they just said like we got $10,000 to buy 3 cars with. I'm like, you know, if I just had a producer who could give me $10,000 to fund a 10-day road trip, I could make this.
I just think like I like it. I do like
it. But yeah, my problem is, well, my 2 problems are. One, and I say this as a white guy.
Oh yeah.
It bothers me that it's 6 white dudes.
Yeah.
Like Top Gear is like 3 white guys, but it's okay because it's only 3. It's not like the cast of Friends, but now they're all the same.
Well, the thing is, they're like Canadian nerds basically, where like
Yeah.
most of the time are playing Magic the Gathering or like tabletop games.
And
So it's
like
like,
that ties into my second problem of like the Crown Victoria car is like, I want to say A tier, but really it's like B tier. I can't give these people like A tier.
no,
Like it is the best car. Like those two,
yes,
like sunglasses and like exercise
yeah,
guy.
yeah, those two guys. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
There's a
Uh,
reason. Well, those are the like those two guys are like the face of the channel.
yeah.
That's the stats of their car.
The second one is the Sunfire,
I
which is
agree.
like if those guys are B tier, then Sunfire is like D tier.
Yes, I agree. Listen, I am with you 100%. Continue.
And then what's below F tier?
I would say just
Like if A secretly has an S tier above it, then what is secretly below F tier?
uh in in Pokemon, it's just called untiered because it's not
Yeah.
even worth classifying. It's literally like it's just untiered. Like there's no you can't rank it. It's not because it's so good, it's because ranking it would why bother?
Yeah, there's no reason to. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is what the sob is.
I agree. I agree.
It is
Like let me be real. That's not the people I like whenever they're playing Magic. Like whenever those two guys show up. Not a fan.
Oh, like
Not
you're just like already familiar with that
Oh yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
See, I'm not. I thought this was
you're
just a
going
new.
in this raw?
Yeah, I'm just going into this
Okay.
raw. That's
like,
why I asked you. That's why I was like, does this like scratch the top gear? So like, I'm coming into this purely because like I didn't watch any Grand Tour either. So like, since Top Gear stopped, since Jeremy Clarkson punched a dude, I have not gotten any Top Gear.
Oh, okay. Because like I was familiar with them with their like Magic the Gathering stuff. Like I watched that channel and I watched them do stuff. I'm like, yeah, they're pretty good. But yeah, you're getting it raw. You're getting the raw experience. See, that's why I was like, that's why I was impressed with it because to me it was like if you watch like a nerd kind of Magic the Gathering channel and then they made like an approximation of Top Gear and I was like, that's actually pretty like I was like, well done.
Yeah, see, okay, if I had background knowledge of what that channel was, it might be more impressive to me. But again,
Okay, so
as I say, the first
you're
episode.
just going in as like, here's this YouTube channel. What's it about?
Yeah. Also, don't forget. Again, episode 1, they say, "Yeah, well, you know, we got $10,000 to buy 3 cars with." I'm like, okay, so people are they're getting money thrown at them.
No, that's like their like Patreon budget and like they had to like budget. They had to plan. Apparently, that thing was planned for like a year, and they had to like save up for it and like get it all dealt with. Like there was a lot of behind the scenes like management of how that would work.
Yeah.
Which is, I was
But
like,
yeah,
man.
I just wish it wasn't 6 white dudes.
Oh, I agree. Well, it's like I think they did 3 because that's like the Top Gear number is 3 cars.
Yeah.
And I think they could have gotten away with 2. I think they could have gotten away with 2 or just had 3 drivers. But I mean, I don't know. I still think it's all right.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any besides episode 1 because like I've had other things to watch.
Okay, see, like, yeah, I was watching episode 3. I was almost all the way through when like you joined the voice chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I also like Grand Tour. I would say I have seen it because my dad has Amazon Prime, and I watched that over here there at his house.
Yeah.
And it's like I would say it's 80% Top Gear, sometimes, but they've actually had a couple bad episodes.
And yeah, it's also the thing of like they have to make it legally distinct.
Yeah, and there's been stuff where like for lack of a better word, kayfabe gets broken. Where like mentally you understand it's a show and things are kind of like, okay, this is like the illusion gets broken a little bit more on Grand Tour. Yeah. Whereas like in Top Gear, I believed the lie or was way more willing to more of the time. I think that's just kind of like, but that's just sort of like how it goes after something goes for so long. Like Top Gear went on for like 10 years. That's
the real issue I have with Jeremy Clarkson punching a guy is that it has completely erased Top Gear from like streaming.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't even count as like the Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear. I tried watching that; it was not very good.
Yeah, no, it's Richard Hammond and James May can't do it.
Oh, and we're not even going to talk about American Top Gear.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you? Oh, you never tried to watch American Top Gear?
No, I have, Kevin. That's the joke.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought like you didn't know.
Isn't like Joey? Sorry, I guess his real name is Matt LeBlanc. Isn't Joey Tribbiani on American Top Gear?
Yes, or I think so. It's like it's. I don't understand. It's weird.
It's weird and bad, but RoadQuest does.
All right,
keep going.
No, I was just gonna say it just feels weird. It's like
it has no charisma to it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, it's. I don't know.
I would dare argue the actual American version of Top Gear is American Chopper.
I think I would agree with that, honestly.
I think,
or Pimp My Ride, or some kind of fusion.
Yeah,
like that's what it would be.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was really going to talk about was the Nier raid in Final Fantasy XIV. Did you watch any of that?
No.
Okay, so I watched the Nier raid because I was curious about, like, I'm not going to play Final Fantasy XIV to get to the raid to see what's up with it.
Yeah. And I will say this explains why, like, there's been, like, a sudden surgence in, like, Nier and specifically, like, 2P fan art that I've seen.
Oh, yeah. She's heavy in there.
Yeah.
It's actually really well done. Like, it's a weird feeling watching that raid happen because, one, I think it's better than anything World of Warcraft has done in, like, 5 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, it's like, it kind of, like, it's you can tell that the Yoko Taro bits are in there because, like, it starts kind of goofy and stupid and then it builds upon it. So I'm just, spoiler alert for the Final Fantasy XIV Nier raid.
I haven't seen it either, and if it is Yoko Taro-y, I might actually watch it then.
So then
I'll also say it just dropped Wednesday.
Okay. So
I think we can hold off at least a week, maybe 2.
Okay, so I won't say spoilery parts, but I will say that like there's not a ton of story in this, but I would say the writing is like what you're getting is basically a Nier side quest, like an Automata side quest level stuff, and there's some real interesting bits after the raid. So, like, there's the raid, and it has some story and some cutscenes, but then they let you visit, like, the dungeon or whatever, like, unpopulated after the raid. So after they've cleaned everything out, and you're kind of rummaging around, and that's where the interesting stuff is.
Okay.
But so I would say that like watch it if you are into that Yoko Taro Nier stuff because it scratches an itch and it makes me honestly a bit jealous for people playing Final Fantasy 14 because I'm sure like experiencing it is way different than having to like watch it and go like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I kind of wish I would have played Final Fantasy 14 just
Yeah.
because that MMO seemed so I don't know. There's just something about it where they just keep doing like, these expansions and crossovers and tie-ins.
Well, it's because they're kind of doing the Monster Hunter thing where they're having like crossovers and expansions, but it's with stuff you like. Like I saw a guy running around dressed as like Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm like, did they have like a One Piece thing? Did I not get to do that, or did I like WoW doesn't? WoW doesn't have that.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Japan's resurgence of saying screw it. We're all together. Just hey, you like this? I like this. Technically, this is just a commercial for both things in each other's games, but whatever.
It's also at least with what I've seen with Final Fantasy and played with Monster Hunter is that there's an attempt to make it fit together. It's not just like you're not just playing World of Warcraft and then like the StarCraft man shows up and be like, "Hey, I'm StarCraft man. Do this quest to get the thing." Like they actually try to make it somewhat story-wise fit in, and there's like a respect there that I'm like, "Oh, okay." Apparently, there was a Garrow event in Final Fantasy 14 where you could get Garrow armor, and I was like, "Man, like you could have had your Dark Knight be Silver Knight." With that cool armor, and they like it's just I don't know. I still don't really like how Final Fantasy 14 looks. It's that kind of like that real. It's not realism, but it feels like Unreal Engine to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like. It doesn't I still like the environments of World of Warcraft and the style of it better. But like in all other aspects, Final Fantasy 14 is better. Apparently even the story is good, which from playing World of Warcraft is a shock because man, WoW's story is stupid and bad.
Yeah, WoW. I don't know. I've never played WoW, so I have no attachment to it at all.
Yeah, I think that's like the nostalgia got me a bit with WoW. It's also the fact that like even though Warcraft 3 did not have an amazing story, it did have like a well-told story. It was like here's the hero's downfall. Here's like the orc, but he's good, and you're just kind of like it was like a fairy gone. Yeah, I would say at least Warcraft 3 is totally a fairy gone, where everything is done well with just enough interesting bits in there that you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like nothing about it is exceptional, but it's just incredibly solid all around.
Yeah, like you're pleasantly surprised. It's like you're expecting nothing and you got a little something and you're like, you know what, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm probably not watching season 2 though.
No, I haven't been watching like anime at all.
I'm like tempted to watch season 2, but I'm like, eh.
Well, the problem is that like I'm trying to wean myself off of going to the cursed Naruto Sasuke website.
Oh, it turns out that's like if I want to watch anime at home, that's where I have to go.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't been watching it. Like I'll either go on Crunchyroll a week later, but like a lot of the animes I want to watch are just not there. Like No Gun Life is like Viz exclude or like Funimation.
Funimation exclusive. Yeah.
It's this stupid garbage of like no one understands how the streaming audience is, and there's like all the like I see
it's people are trying to use cable company practices to get stream money,
and to me, at least, like as the I guess ignorant whatever, it's kind of like I don't think they realize that I have so much entertainment that whenever I see like an exclusive whatever for a streaming service, I just get kind of disappointed and go, well, I'm never going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's Jellystone by CH Greenblatt on like HBO Plus. I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'm not going to watch it.
That one actually doesn't get me because like the only season of Chowder that was good was the first one, and also I have no love for Hanna-Barbera characters, so I really do not care about this thing at all.
I adore Hanna-Barbera characters, but only in an Adult Swim context where those animations have been reused for a different show. Like,
but yeah, so
Space
like,
Ghost, great. I love Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I like C-Lab 2021. I think that show's great. That's a bit. I liked it when Fred Flintstone showed up in Billy and Mandy. That was good.
Yeah.
But it's just.
Do you remember that? Like, what was that Yogi Bear thing that was on Adult Swim?
Oh, that weird. Yeah, it was like Boo Boo's Bad Day or something.
Yeah.
It's like one of those weird pilots. Was that a John Hay thing?
I don't think so.
Like I don't
know. I want to think he'd burned all of his like bridges by then.
I don't want to fact check it because that's the death of a podcast. But I remember seeing it was weird.
Yeah.
It's just there's just like I don't like our dumb future. It's why I think I should probably play Outer Worlds, because that's the game that's the reflection of our stupid future.
Have you played Control yet?
I watched it.
Okay. I haven't yet, but like Giant Bomb is like, I know like a lot of them were really hype on it.
It's a AAA SCP game.
Yeah.
Like and it's really interesting. It's somewhat validating because like I really like SCPs, and then Control, which is literally like SCPs, and I'm hearing like the giant guys be like, man, this is like really good. Like I like the world and like all the objects. I'm like, yeah, you do.
And yeah, no, what was weird was like hearing Austin Walker and Vinny talk about SCPs on the Beastcast.
Yeah. No, Austin would be down. He knows what's up. And like, well, but it's also like, despite how much I love SCPs, man, the quality is varied.
Yes, it is.
Like, whenever I tell people, I say, what you do is you go to the top rated pages, like you order it top rated all time, and you go down until you hit around like the 500s, and then you can stop. Or you can listen to like one of those guys who just reads the SCPs, because they generally like read the good ones.
There are some that is such a like, I don't know. That's such a niche market to target.
Oh, what? The SCP reading?
Yeah, being like, all right, well, I know there's this people who want to read SCP, but I also know that this, like, within that subset of people, there's ones who want to read it, but they don't actually want to read the thing, but they still want to ingest it somehow, preferably while they're doing something else.
Yeah, me. Like, a lot of the ones, like, if I want to reread it and I'm, like, drawing, I'll turn on one of the guys and he'll just read it. And, like, I'm like, thank you. It's a convenient service that I make use of. But not, like, like if you really want to read it, you just read it because you will be frustrated and you will read ahead of what the like. I've tried to do listen to ones like I haven't heard before, and it just gets to the point where I just like I pause the video and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the thing and read it myself.
Yeah, it's because listening comprehension is worse than reading comprehension.
Yeah, but ones I already know about, then I'm like, okay, all right, guy, read about all the logs about the random man who teleports to dimensions while I draw this comic. You can read that to me because I don't want to because I know the gist.
Also, while we're on the subject of SCPs, I don't like that the containment YouTube cartoon is like going the route of every internet content creator of saying, yeah, but now let me do my own story.
Well, yeah. I mean,
let's get into the.
I still like Lord Bung. I think he's a cool guy.
I didn't even watch the latest one he put out, and I'm probably not going to because like this Infinite IKEA storyline and just the storyline with that guy anyway, like I just do not care about.
Oh, I liked it. I liked how that resolved, mainly because like I'm not even gonna spoiler it. It's too short. You just watch it. If you're into that, just watch it. I don't want to just talk about it, but I still like it. It's kind of fits in with one of the site's like whole ethos where there's no real canon. So just do what you want, and if it's good, people will keep reading it.
Yeah.
Which is what I like because there's some of those like I enjoy, and then there's some I'm like, nah, just get that out of there.
Is there a way to like flag ones that are garbage for deletion?
Yes, but it has to be like unanimous. Like it has to be like you're not if something's like has like over 100 whatevers, you're not going to be able to get there. But if it's like if they've upvoted it 100 times or whatever, your one isn't going to matter. But if it's like 10, you can kind of like get this out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Anything you want to talk about? Got like 10 minutes.
We're apparently where this is like the introduction class, so that like introduction courses for the major. I'm in like the same 3 classes with almost everyone, with like only 1 or 2 other people rotating out per class.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, so they voted to have a cookie exchange tomorrow for Halloween.
Ooh.
Which, like, at first I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fun, that's nice, that's okay, yeah, let's do it. And then proceeded into, let me Google a cookie recipe that is A, somewhat interesting and different, but B, not a pain in the patookus to make.
So how's that going?
Okay, so let me talk about recipes and how they have times and estimates on them and how they're always wrong. Like this one is like prep time 10 minutes, bake time 10 minutes, total 20 minutes. Cut to an hour later. Okay, well the cookies are done. And I don't know. That is how any recipe I've found online. Maybe I'm just, not skilled enough in the culinary arts. But those time frames are never right.
Of course, like that's the whole thing. Is that they're all based on like someone's like either specific like hyper like pro grade like oven that gets real hot real fast.
No, I don't even mean the baking part, because like I'll see, like if I forget to start preheating the oven when I start the prep work, that's on me. But like my prep time never lines up with theirs. The bake time is normally fine, But prep time stuff like chopping all your vegetables or mixing your dough, all of that stuff is never right. And part of me thinks it's...
Now you go.
What? Okay. Part of me thinks they lie about these. So that way you think recipes are easier than they are.
No, that makes sense because like if you're gonna say like potato salad, estimated prep time 3 hours, like no one's gonna share that recipe. You're not gonna go there. But
3 hours for potato salad? Get out of here.
Well, yeah, but I'm listen. I'm just
no. That's I mean in the example, I am agreeing with you.
Yeah, but if you say like potato salad, homemade, 5 minutes, you'll be like, yeah, I got 5 minutes.
All right, 5 minutes for I can't even bake a potato in 5 minutes.
Homemade cookies, 7 minutes. Cooks a dozen.
They got me with that one.
It's easier than going to buy like a bag of Oreos. You just got the
My other problem with this recipe is whenever it has like mix these ingredients together, now add the rest of the ingredients and mix these together. And whenever I got to that part of the recipe, I'm like, this is not a cohesive dough. I don't know what this recipe is telling me, but this thing is not correct. I'm adding another egg to this bitch. And so I did. I'm like, okay, now this is what a dough is supposed to look like.
Did you use the baker's secret?
What's the baker's secret?
Oh, the baker. So I heard. I don't even know where I heard this. I might have made it up. But the baker's secret is whenever you're making cookies, always throw in like 0.5 more butter and sugar than the recipe tells you to.
I'll remember that.
Because it's like, listen, the recipe will tell you this. If you want it to taste good, you give it like when it's like half a stick of butter, you throw in like 75% stick of butter. If it's like a cup of sugar, you throw in like a cup and a half of sugar, and it'll just make it taste better.
Well, okay, but my problem is like the cookies I made are apple cookies.
Okay.
So the base bread cookie is just, like nutmeg, brown sugar for flavoring, and then you have chopped apples added in.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if you know this, but as it turns out, apples are, I don't know, like 75% water or something.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that from British baking. Whenever you do your fruits, you got to like account. You have to account for the water because
You remember that first problem I ran into where the dough wasn't really cohesive and was super dry?
Oh, it's supposed to, because it's accounting that you're throwing some apples in there.
It was accounting for the apples.
Oh no, Drew! You need to watch the British baking show.
I have, and so like while these like cookies are like they seemed fine when I was scooping them onto the cookie sheet and putting them in the oven. They're like this seemed like what cookies are supposed to be. I looked at them like it said bake like 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm like I'm just looking at the oven because I want to see if they go. They melted almost immediately into just like puddles.
Do they
like puddles with So that was the solution. Is I moved them off of the like bottom rack onto the top rack, turned the heat down slightly, and instead of like 8 to 10 minutes, did more like 15 to 18 minutes.
Listen, we call that Tennessee slow cooking barbecue cookies. We put it into the smoker for 10 hours. And then it's gonna come out good. Listen, it doesn't matter what you throw in there. You throw in some food, you let it sit in that smoker for 10 hours, it comes out good.
Yep. But yeah, so the other issue I have is like the apples have like no flavor. They give like an apple-y texture, but somehow the apples just don't have a flavor. And B, boy howdy, does nutmeg have a flavor. It's basically
nutmeg is bad. Like nutmeg is real bad. It like if you overdo it.
Yeah.
Or it's a song.
This is not overdone, but it's maybe at like what would be a hair too much for any other. It's like in nutmeg, like, you know, a dozen hairs above where it should be.
Yeah. Oh man, it's fascinating because it's like you're experiencing all the woes of the British baking show.
I know, and I just kept thinking like, oh man, if only Mary Berry was here, she'd be like, that's such a rookie mistake you've made. It's like, oh.
Well, I think like it's charming, but it also makes me have like more empathy for those people because like I can imagine like you're on there, you're stressed out. And you're like, the dough's not supposed to feel like this for my fruit pie. And then you add in more water, and then you pull it out, and you're like, oh no.
It was supposed to feel like that.
And then,
but yeah. The other good part of it, though, is, A, they all came out, they're cohesive enough. So, you know, it's good enough, whatever. But I'm part of a group me with all these other people since we're all like spending multiple hours a week together and like all have the same homework to do. And that group me is just blowing up with other people being like, oh God, there was a cookie disaster.
It's also, listen, those people will way appreciate that you tried.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing. I could have gone to the store and just bought cookies.
Or just could have done like what I did. I never did any of that crap.
Oh, see, I can't go to a potluck or something potluck-esque and not participate.
Listen, this is probably why I didn't make many social connections in my college. I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, I gotta go play some WoW later, nerds. And then it's like, oh, and I realized at home, like maybe I should have done something.
Yeah.
All right. No, that was good. I like Drew's baking adventure. That's a good way to close things.
Okay, hold up. While we're there, it's the same idea, but I've always had an idea for a Food Network TV show.
All right, what is it?
So the idea is it would be me or someone functionally of my level in the kitchen, aka zero experience.
Okay.
And the plot of the show is every episode, we pick a Food Network episode to watch and try to keep pace with.
Try to recreate it?
Yes. So you're watching me as I watch like a Rachel Ray and Emerald Lagasse and Alton Brown, whatever, and I'm trying to make the dish they're making on their TV show.
Like, what is he doing? How is he chopping those onions so fast?
Yeah.
So what you want is like Food Network tool time from Home Improvement.
Basically, yeah.
Disaster constantly.
And it's like, ideally, it would run long enough where I would have to step back from being the host. It's like, I've done this too long. I'm actually good now. Good. Yeah, so then I have to step back and bring someone else into the kitchen.
Yeah, no, then it's a new kind of disaster. I like that. I think it would work.
I do too.
I just have this image of like just you standing just covered in flour in a kitchen, and they're not even using flour. It's just like,
where's the barbecue episode? How did you do this?
Like it doesn't stop. And the rules of the episode were like, if something is pre-prepared, like they pull up like the 4 hours later, like you have to use the one you made. So like there's edits in there. It's not like The guy like cuts up the dough and he goes, "Now I pull out the prepared dough and continue." No, we gotta use your prepared dough.
Like, I have to hit pause, put it in the oven for 4 hours, and then come back and be like, all right, let's see what we've got.
There's no second. There's no like 8 ovens going, so you pick the good one, the one that came out right.
Yeah.
It's just one and done. And then you gotta have like your Food Network star tasting it, or like preferably you'd have whoever made the dish has to taste your version of it.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, I made what you did. It's not
and of course, like, you get the great like final shot of like, they show like, oh wow, look at Paula Deen's butter smorgasbord. Oh, look at Drew's.
it's just always melted and on fire. A la flambe.
Oh.
It's not. I caramelized it. It's like in Chopped, how they always say, no. Well, you gotta use the Chopped excuse where they always say it's a deconstruction. Whenever something goes wrong, you just go, well, it's like a new age deconstruction of a pizza. Where it's just a random ingredients in there.
I hate the like deconstructed trend in food. Like, any jerk can make deconstructed food. It's called like baking each ingredient separately and just putting them on the same plate. It's not talented.
It's called a fancy casserole, where instead of putting everything together, you put everything aside and then together afterward.
It's the Watchmen of casseroles.
Yeah, that's just like this podcast. All right, I gotta go. Audacity's starting to get hitchy.
All right, later days.
Bye.